All right, y'all, let's continue on our journey through The Last Kids on Earth. So, we found out Thrall is back, and Evie is helping Thrall. Not good. Not a good situation. But now he's got these vine thingies from that Tree of Entry, like all that stuff that he's a part of now, and Thrall's now coming after him. So, whoo boy, it's a tough situation. Let's keep going. So, chapter 20. Dandelion's ice cream parlor is near the edge of town. There's not much nearby, a gas station, a handful of trees, and a TJ Maxx parking lot. Rain is beating down hard, pouring sideways in sheets. We park Big Mama around back, then race for the entrance. I push through the doors and I'm instantly punched in the nose by a putrid sour milk stench. Turns out, your old ice cream does not smell the best. Who knew? Stale waffle cones beneath my feet are like broken glass. Quint, this is where you and Bartle do your, tail research, June asks. It's gross and weird, Quint admits. But there's free Oreo crumble. The tail is in the center of the shop, atop of a metal table. It's hard to believe that the shriveled rat tail, with pieces of melted action figure plastic inside, is the key to controlling and activating an army of total undead terror. Bartle stands over the tail, pondering. Bartle, I say breathlessly, Thrall is back. A light reflecting off of the table, color in his eyes, a ghostly yellow-white. Rain whips in and the wind slams the door shut. Thunder rumbles in the distance. Drops of water seep through the ceiling. Bartle looks like a mad scientist as he turns around. I know, he says, and he wants the tail. Quint exclaims, we have to destroy it. I know that. That's what I've been trying to do. Quint's confused. What? Bartle sags. Quint, I knew from the start that no good could come from the tail, but you hope that your research might reveal a weakness. However, it seems that it's an impossible feat. All that I've tried has made us weak. But we have to, I say. Thrall will, but I pause before I can finish, because it's eerily quiet all of a sudden, and somehow I know it's Thrall. He's here. His voice booms louder than thunder. I have come for the tail! I look at my friends. We all have the same frozen expression on our face. Fear. Questioning what's next. What do we do? I move through the drive-thru window, and I see that he is not alone. I slide the window shut, it knocks over an old tip jar, and the coins roll out, clanging against the wet pavement. Way to go, Jack. Super smooth. It's not a tiny plastic window. It's going to keep us safe from what's out there. But still, it's something. Dirk grunts. Feels like the Old West in here. We're holed up in this ice cream parlor like a shack on the plains, and Thrall's the black-hatted bandit outside. My eyes scan the store. We got to do something, or the ice cream parlor shack is going to be our tomb. Bartle's face is blank, but his lips are moving, whispering to himself. It's like he's working something out in his head. Finally, he nods. Sorry. Hey, knock it off. My dogs. We got a new puppy, so I'll show you pictures. Promise. Bartle's face is blank. His lips are moving, whispering to himself, but it's like he's working something in his head. Finally, he nods in slow, heavy. There's one thing I can attempt. Please step back. Bartle places his hands on the tail, his eyes close, and the atmosphere seems to change. The air around us starts to glow. It's pounding rain like a horrible vampire fingernails tapping on the roof intensifies. Wind whooshes and whips. I grab the nearby table, suddenly afraid that I'm going to be yanked into a tornado destined for who knows where. Bartle shudders, and the knocktail throbs and swells. Thousands of thick, terrible hairs stand on end. He's doing it. Bartle's doing it. Everything is going to slam. The door flies open and Thrall's shadow looms in the doorframe. He grips the warhammer. Bartle looks up and he doesn't run. Instead, he turns to me. What? Grab. The tail glows. Bartle jerks. I feel a strange brief zap, like touching the doorknob after walking across the carpet in socks. Bartle releases me. I stumble back as Thrall swings. Crack! There's a flash of light. Heat washes over me. I fly back through a wall, but I don't feel it. And then I'm laying on the pavement in the parking lot, flat on my butt. There's ringing in my ears. It's like Christmas bells. The flash of light left the after image. If I shut my eyes tight, I can see it. Thrall swinging his hammer downward. Sitting up, I rub my eyes. It's too dark to make out much of the parking lot, but I see all four walls of the ice cream parlor are gone. Somehow, the metal table at the center of the room still stands, with the tail resting on top. The giant plastic soft-serve cone that was perched on top of the roof is now on its side, cracked and caved in. Evie stands in the rain like a statue watching. I whip my head around, searching for my friends. They were beside me before. Guys, I call out, you okay? I hear a groan from the trees. June says, never better, she manages. From across the way, Dirk says, Peachy, and then Quint's voice says, I'm fine, friends. Knowing they're okay, that gives me a little strength. I try to stand, but immediately slip. My chin scrapes the cement pebbles and slice their way into my palm. I reach out with a glove, and the suction cup grip steadies me. Ash and debris is everywhere, but there's something else. Rainbow sprinkles. They mix with the rain, then they fall like confetti. It's the only bright thing in the sea of this darkness. The smoke clears, and through a pink and yellow and red sprinkled digital, I see two figures. Bartle on one knee, slowly and shakily rising. Thrall towering over him. Thrall's voice drifts across the parking lot. I see Jack's blade has changed. The human, Evie, says that he can manipulate the undead, and that his hand is now a cosmic glove. Bartle, you have been up to a great deal while I slept. A teacher? A guide? Is that what you think you are? Bartle says nothing. Thrall snarls. This is not your world, Bartle. Why do you care? You have grown soft here. Our kind, we do not feel for others. Bartle reaches down and shakily draws his sword. I am not eager to do this, Thrall says. Bartle is silent. You failed, Thrall says. His voice is gruff and scornful. The tail will be mine. Control will be mine, but I don't need to destroy you. Bartle, slowed, weakened, raises his sword. Thrall nods. If that is what you prefer. My eyes are watering, so what happens next is blurred, and I'm thankful for that. Thrall lifts the warhammer, and it seems to hang in the air, defying gravity, and then he swings. A crashing boom. A flash of energy and a metal crunching. Bartle slamming into a nearby car. Thrall's blow catapulted him out of the wreckage and across the street. I scramble to Bartle's side. His clothes are torn, but he doesn't look, dead. I mean, big warhammer swings into your buddy. You expect to see the worst. Bartle, you're okay, I say. Holy crud, that scared me. Okay, we gotta get out of here now. Bartle's eyes narrow, and I follow his gaze. Inside the store to the crumbling shell, Thrall is hunched over the tail like he's about to devour it. He extends his not-so-healed arm, exposing little tendrils of flapping flesh. Bartle's heavy-lidded eyes squint up and says, Jack, he says, I am not okay. My energy absorbed the hammer's blow, but now I am weakened, beyond mending. Bartle still grips the handle of the sword, but he reaches out for me with his free hand. Jack, he says, in his soft voice, the power to control, it can be yours entirely. But it is, what? I kneel over Bartle, taking his hand. Bartle, I don't understand. Help me understand. He squeezes my hand before utterly weakly. It is your choice, Jack, but it is a tremendous burden, and for that I'm so very sorry. Sorry for what? Bartle's head turns up. He's trying to say more, trying to tell me everything he can, but his body shivers, and he only manages, Jack, the decision is now in your hands. Bartle's long fingers tighten around mine. He is so weak that I barely feel the squeeze beneath my glove. His lips open like he wants to say one last thing, but he can't. His mouth is sagging, lopsided O. His sword clangs into the pavement. His eyes half open and dull and pale. Then they close, and that's how it happens. That's how Bartle dies. Man, that's sad. That actually made me really sad. Chapter 21. Thick melted ice cream is splattered in a sticky layer across the ground, dotted with the rainbow sprinkles. It looks like the world was hit by a cake batter cyclone. Through the rain, I see Thrall. He jams his fleshy, flapping arm into the open side of the tail. The tail fuses with Thrall's arms, forming one long, terrifying appendage. Of course, it wasn't going to return to the tail to Gats. He wanted the zombie control for himself, and now he has it. He is a liar. I learned the hard way. Now Evie has too. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the backing away out of sight. The tail twists, turning Thrall, his back to me. So I rise and begin to cross the parking lot. But I am too scared to confront him, and too angry to do nothing. The rain comes down in buckets. Before I can decide, yank! Rover grabs me, and he's carrying me in his mouth like a lion cub, and to Big Mama's whipping towards us. June at the wheel, Quint beside her, Dirk in the back. They're all okay. I don't breathe a sigh of relief, but yeah, a tiny bit as relieved nose breath shoots through my nostrils. What are we doing? I ask as Rover races up Big Mama. Fleeing, Quint shouts. But Bartle, I cry, we can't leave him. We gotta, Dirk says, for now. I don't know how to respond to that, but then Rover leaps into Big Mama's truck bed. I guess I'd rather be out of the cold, so I crawl through the rear window, inside with my friends. Quint pulls me close, and I'm happy. Happy the rain is there to hide my tears. Big Mama speeds towards the Christmas tree farm, and I'm just in a daze, ignoring the world racing by. I wish that I was somewhere else. I wish that I was someone else, someone who didn't just see what I saw, Bartle's body laying there. I feel a hand on my arm. Quint says, I know, Jack, I know. I want to scream. No, you don't. No, you don't know. But I say nothing. I look out at the trees and the buildings racing by, at the vine thingies crawling around everywhere. The invasion of the other dimensional evil. I shut my eyes as tight as I do, and I hear Bartle's voice. But it's not my own imagination. It's not something mystic. The voice is real. Somehow Bartle is speaking to me from the beyond. The voice says, "You must remain strong, Jack. You must, because the force is with you, Quint." I howl. "I'm in mourning. What are you doing? An Obi-Wan thing?" "No, it's not time for that Obi-Wan thing. I'm sorry. Emotional situations like this make me uncomfortable. But I do believe humor can heal the biggest wounds." I turn towards the window and sulk in peace. When my heart jumps back into my throat, Big Mama tires are squealing, the brakes are screeching, and we're jolting forward. Something is moving the road. Warg. Her hundreds of eyeballs glow as the headlights flash over her. I jump from the truck. The door echoes in the quiet night. Behind me, June says, "Warg, what are you doing here?" "We were going to the tree farm." "It's too late," Warg says. "What?" "Thrall came. He took them. The zombies, an enormous plant creature made of roots and vines, erupted from the soil. The tendril," I growl. "The tendril with the L's. With 2 L's. The zombies are gone. Every last one." Warg's eye zooms in all directions, searching. They narrow their focus on me. "Where is Bartle?" I open my mouth to tell her. He's gone. And the next second, water begins to pool beneath her body. Every single eyeball leaks tears, forming a puddle so big that it might just flood the whole street. It's Dirk who kneels down to her and says, "Come on, let's get you to the treehouse." We roll past Joe's Pizza. The windows glow and the music drifts into the streets. Our monster friends don't know what it's like to grieve. At the treehouse, we all help Warg up inside. She settles in a chair and my gaming chair, and she perches onto a strange cartoonish way. She looks around, her body for scanning for the treehouse. "What is this place?" "Our home," I say. Dirk chuckles in a soft way. "Welcome to the treehouse at the end of the world." "Let's get her some water," June says to Quint. "Wait, do monsters drink water?" "I think so," Quint says, "although I never actually seen anyone drink it." "She's got to replenish all those tears, right?" June says. "She must be dehydrated." I whirl around, my hands are shaking. "Guys, just get something." June and Quint hurry to Quint's room, where he keeps all the gadgets and sciencey things. My head hangs, staring down at my sneakers for a long time. Finally, I look up at Warg. "I don't understand," I say. "I'm not sure if I'm angry or confused. I thought you didn't care about anyone. You just live up at the farm, all alone. Why do you get to be sad?" "It is exactly because I care that I've isolated myself. That caring is a flaw in my being. And do you know what it feels like to grow attached to a creature who cannot grow attached in return?" After a long moment, I quietly say, "Oh." "And you know my secret," Warg whispers. "The whole time we thought you just were a big grumper," Dirk says. That's when we hear June scream. A moment later, she appears in the doorway. Her face is part shock, part crazy pants excitement. And then Quint is there too, a TV cradled in his arms, the cord snaking around his big leg, attempting to rush into the room. But the TV doesn't fit through the doorway, and there's a smack when it hits the wall, sending him back towards. "Ahem," he says, readjusting himself. He tries walking backwards, but the TV is just as wide. Another smack. The TV recording is paused, but there on the screen, June's parents, their names. "It works," she says breathlessly. "They're okay. My parents are okay, and they're out there somewhere." I look to Quint. "And yours, buddy?" He blinks quickly, chewing on his lip. "I don't know. I'm too scared to look. It's recorded. I just need to rewind." But I'm not sure if. His voice trails off and his eyes drift away from us. I swallow and decide to be his best friend and do the best friend job. I press the rewind button. Thousands of names spew in reverse. It's like watching Star Wars opening scroll, but upside down. We stand, all of us, in silence, and then for some of the longest moments of my life, and then I see the name, Baker. Then, oh no, another Baker. And another. "Quint, there are like a jillion Bakers. Why you gotta have such a popular last name?" "Jack, come on," Quint shouts. The names creep past, slower and slower, and I pause. I swallow. There's a lump in my throat. His mom, his dad. I see their names. And I say with a smile, "If I was a lousy friend, I could mess with you so hard right now." "You mean?" "Yes, buddy. They're okay." Quint's eyes shine and glows with wetness that he has to blink away. It's happiness, insane, unbelievable happiness. It bubbles over so much that I just throw my arms around Quint and June, but there's a darn TV which is too big for us to allow a real group hug, so it ends up all of us just kind of hugging a TV screen. Then I feel Dirk's arms wrap around us as wide as they go. I wish I wasn't holding a TV. I wish I had longer arms to hug you all. Me too. And for minutes and minutes, we just hold each other and say nothing. It's sort of like a grand finale of so much. The radio, the King Wretch, June's hopes, wants, and fears, and worries. And that first day I found Quint as we hung out oddly in my house, because his parents were gone, and he didn't want to say anything more about it. "I get it," Quint said suddenly. He says so loudly that, and so practically thrown backwards, "Dirk, I know what's wrong with you." Dirk takes a step back. You do? Quint nods. It's just like Warg, just like this TV. Quint's mind was made a sudden leap into a new territory, and I have whiplash. He launches into a long explanation with his arms starting waving wildly until he remembers he's still holding the TV. He nearly drops it 3 times. Before saying, June, would you mind? June wordlessly takes the TV from Quint. She leans up against the couch and runs her hand over the names. I can tell that she wants to rewind and see her parents' names again. Warg, Quint says, walking over to her. When we first met you, your eyeballs swarmed around us. They each did something different, but it's like they're all an extension of you. How does that work? Warg's eyeballs jiggle. A few jump off of her body and roll around on the floor, which is super dirty. These eyeballs definitely are picking up some Kit Kat crumbs. Warg's body shrugs. I think a thought, and the eyeballs communicate the thought with one another. It simply works, Quint says. Like a hive mind. What's a hive mind? What does that mean? I just want to know why my head sounds like a freaking zombie radio. Look, Quint says, Jack and I have seen every zombie movie ever made, and I don't remember any where the zombies fought on command. Well, this is true. Quint continues, so these things we call zombies, they aren't just zombies. I mean, they are, but there's more to them. Don't forget, zombie plague originated in another dimension. It may not follow the usual earthly rules. Dirk sighs so heavily that the treehouse walls just about shake. What does the interdimensional zombie plague have to do with a hive mind, and what do we have to do with hearing weird stuff? Quint, buddy, I say quietly in his ear, maybe we want to get to the part where you tell Dirk what's up with his noggin. Right, of course. Dirk, you were nearly zombified, but the process was stopped before completion. But I believe there is an after effect of that near transformation that you are now connected to a zombie hive mind, but just barely. Are you saying I'm part zombie? Yes! Dude, wrong vibe. It's not a good thing. Oh, right, Quint says. Of course, it's not exciting to you, Dirk, but it is. Bad, Dirk says. It's only bad. Hold on, I say to Dirk. Maybe it's not. For real. I mean, now we know what's wrong with you and we can figure out how to make it better. The closer you are to zombies, the stronger the connection. So you just got to stay away from them. Right. This is all great news. Dirk says, his voice is angry sarcasm. Who wouldn't be happy to find out they're connected to zombies, right? So really everyone's happy. You two are happy with your parents are okay. And the sound of the breaking glass silences Dirk. We all spin to a huge flat screen on the floor. A crack runs through it. June's eyes narrowed, and she is loading goose slime into the gift. Listen up. None of this matters if Thrall builds a tower. You heard what he said. It's unstoppable, and Razak will come. No matter what if our parents are alive, won't matter if Dirk gets better, and if we don't steal back the zombies, Thrall's going to have one major head start at this building thing. We don't even know where Thrall is, Quint says, or the zombies, or Evie, or Gats. We sit there, a thickening feeling of hopelessness settling in. That's when Dirk stands. But maybe we can find out. The TV, the Wi-Fi, the video game, they pick up signals in the air, right? In the air? Well, I suppose that's a tough and simplified explanation. And if I pick up signals from zombies, kinda, right? Everyone's silent, waiting for Dirk to continue. What if I hear? It's fuzzy, it's not clear, but maybe if I get closer to the zombies, it would be clear. And if I could hear, you would know what zombies know, Quint finishes for him. You'd know what Thrall's doing. But, Dirk says, when you get near the zombies, it hurts, he says with a resigned shrug. But sometimes you got to take one for the team. And you guys, you're my team. The next few minutes unfold faster and faster. Mission Operation Cheer Up Dirk has morphed into Mission Operation Dirk the Great Zombie Hive Mind, and all hands on deck. The Wi-Fi satellite dish is loaded with Big Mama. Quint's football helmet and the one that we were using to pick up the tail's energy goes on Dirk's head. The helmet connects to Big Mama's stereo. All car keys go in the ignition. Dirk lies down in Big Mama's truck bed, Quint beside him, strapped to the seat, the satellite nearby. You guys ready, I ask? Dirk and Quint nod. Inside Big Mama's glove is your map of Wakefield, the surrounding area. I'm unfolding it, and as June says, I'll drive. And I don't argue, because it's an argument I'd lose, partly because June's got a bone to pick with the tower that's threatening the family she just found out is still alive, and partly because I'm a lousy driver. Good luck, Warg says. She stands outside the treehouse with Rover at her side, and then the keys are turning in the engine and the roaring, and we're just all hoping. We drive and we drive. June steers us in a spiral, starting at the treehouse, and then spreading out like a pinwheel, wider and wider, and we don't miss anything. Just like holding up your cell phone, hoping for enough bars to make a call for a ride home after soccer practice, except Dirk's head is a phone and the key to everything. Fingernails are bitten, dials are adjusted, lips are chewed. Suddenly over the stereo, we hear something soft. I wonder if I'm imagining it. It's kind of like when you hold the seashell in your ear and you hear the ocean, but it's getting louder. I spin around into the passenger seat and in the back of Big Mama. I see Dirk's lips moving, and his face is stiff with pain. His eyes are shut so tight that they're like crazy glue. Quint adjusts the satellite, tilting it, and Dirk starts speaking louder and faster. It's incredible. These words are through direct thoughts through an entire interconnected horde of zombies, and they're being blasted into his brain and shot through our stereo. Quint adjusts the satellite once more, and it's a crank the volume on the stereo. Dirk is inside the back, spewing this strange stream of words. Tail, vine, wet. You ever wonder what zombies think? I can tell you, there's a lot about eating and sort of stuff nobody wants to hear about. Maybe sometime, after I've had enough ginger ale, I'll tell you. But there are other things too. A jumbled mess. Move, go, speaking, tail, now, and then rolling and sliding. Each word out of Dirk's mouth is spoken in a slightly different voice. It's him talking for sure, but then he's channeling the zombies. Then he says 2 more words. As he says to him, his eyes flash. Open. Waiter. Monster. I gasp with the realization. The Scrapkin. It's watching the zombies, and the zombies see the Scrapkin. Left of the pier. I shout as I stab on the map. June spins a wheel, and we slide out into the avenue. We're speeding across town, flipping past the library, and on our way back down the hill, I see it. A blip in the distance, miles away, but it's there. The tendril. It surges along this branchy, viney Ferris wheel off the hinges. If I squint hard enough, I can see the zombies, every zombie out from the farm, dotting the tendril. Like sprinkles to an ice cream cone. Like the sprinkles scattering in the air that Bartle fell. Dirk, I say, jerking my head back. Dirk, you did it. You can take the helmet off. Quint immediately reverses it, and the helmet bangs across the truck bed and rolls over on his side. Beats the sweat trickle down his brain. I think I'd like to take a nap now. You're done, friend. You won't have to do that again. Dirk puts his hands on Quint's shoulder. He mumbles something like, thanks, bud. Well, we found it, June said, her fingers tight in the wheel, and as she watches the tendril. Now what? Now we get those zombies back, I say. It's a lot of zombies, Quint says. I nod, and we're going to need a lot of help. With that, I reach my hand back to the window and yank the sparkle on the firework, and it soars into the sky, exploding high above us with a skaboom. Battle Royale, June says, smirking. Skelka loves games, I say, and I bet she'll be happy to bring some of her pals. Ahead of us, the tendril surges and morphs, and it's sliding along. I get a hollow, dark feeling in my stomach. The nightmares come to life. June stops on the gas, and Big Mama zooms forward. Soon we're close enough that I can see Thrall at the top of the surging tendril, like he's riding a tidal wave. We lock eyes, and he smiles. June, watch out, I suddenly shout, but I realize the moment is too late. Skaroop! Vines erupt from the backside of the tendril, and the monstrous party streamers. They rip beneath Big Mama, and there's a tremendously loud shuddering. Big Mama's gutted. The engine is torn open, and half of the truck's bottom falls away. Looking down, I see this wooden boardwalk racing below us. My mom's going to kill me, Quint groans. June jerks the wheel and avoids the popsicle stand ahead, and the truck is spinning on top. The tendril and Thrall are getting away, but then I hear it. Looking back, I see them, Skelka and Carapace Cavalry. Chapter 25. Dozens of crab creatures wearing vehicular shells stampede towards us. Hundreds of neon goo slime canisters glow like fireworks. Skelka's leading towards the charge of her own scooped carapace. We'll catch a ride with these dudes, I say, but Skelka must have had a different idea because she's not slowing down. Instead, she ducks inside the carapace and fling! The vehicle shell flips off, and we see the body beneath it. It's slimy crab-like. Skelka lies atop of it, holding tight as the carapace tiny angled legs scurry forward and breaking speed. June looks back the window. Is Skelka gonna stop or not stopping? Skelka shouts. Battle waits for no monster. Just moments before hitting us, it dips its head to get it closer to the ground. Skelka leans forward, hugging the creature tight. Brace yourselves, I shout. It slips beneath Big Mama, lifting it up, and June drives into the back seat as Skelka props up, pulling herself through this twisted metal into the driver's seat. Follow the tender drill. Quint barks, pointing ahead. Skelka steers Big Mama down the boardwalk, dodging rubble and jutting wooden planks. She has a crazed grin on her face as she spins the wheels back and forth. Skelka asks, leaning forward. The wheel doesn't actually do anything, right? The car is just a shell? The wheel's only for looking cool, she replies, but the pedals give us speed. I glance down. Big Mama has no floor. It's something from the Flintstones. Skelka stomps her foot on the pedal, pushing it down in the creature's fleshy back. It yelps and it speeds forward. Well, that works, June says. Up ahead, Thrall's watching. He scowls and swings his warhammer, bringing the crashing into a huge honky-tonk hamburger sign, and smash! It pounds a boardwalk, metal shattering, giant plastic burgers exploding. We're gonna hit it, I shout, but Skelka jerks the gear shift, stomps on the gas pedal, and we sail over the rubble as we jump over it. Whoomp! We hit the ground hard, but we keep on moving. That's gotta hurt, but it presses forward. I need to get up there, I say. Do it for Bartle. I can direct assault you from here, you know, and that's nutso. Okay, it's time to get our zombies back, I say, is my coolest action hero voice, because I'm about to do some cool action hero stuff. Thrall's tail arm grabs a hold of me, and I'm plucked from the passenger seat so hard that I actually tear through the seatbelt. I spin in the air and flop my way down the screamosity tendril. The zombies are all embedded into the tendrils, pulsating, moving forward. One gnarled hand reaches for me as I scramble to my feet. Hello, Jack. Thrall strides easily across the tendril's surface. The vines gently grip his boots with each step, and he's keeping him steady, like his own personal red carpet. The warhammers on the other dimensional steel glints in the light. I did much thinking down there while I was healed. And do you know what I learned? I raised my eyes, meeting Thrall square on. You know, Thrall, usually I'd respond some lousy attempt for quippy humor, but not now. I don't care what you learned, and I really don't care what you think. The only thing I care about is that you killed my friend. My grip tightens around the slicer as I unsheath it, and Thrall laughs. Not exactly the reaction that you were making for a dramatic grab for your weapon, but he smirks. Ka-snap! Thrall's tail arm whips forward like it's a Mortal Kombat thing. It's half expect him to shout, "Get over here!" in the scorpion voice. The tail arm wraps around me, anaconda tight. Bartle stood in my way, he says, and nothing can stop me on my way, because what I've learned in that cavern is I'm the only one who will do what it must be done. Gats was uncommitted, but I am truly Razok's servant. And now with this control in the army, we shall build the Tower of Razok, and he will come. Over the roar of the tendril, the Thrall's evil dude monologue, I hear June's voice. She's barking orders to this monster truck old police radio. Monster buddies, file the goose slime, stop the tendril. From every car, every open window, every sunroof comes blistering assault. Quint's goo slime weaponry shoots at the tendril. The tendril shudders and shakes. Thrall glances down in his distracted state. His tail arm loosens. I use the opportunity to try to wiggle my glove free and escape the tail's hold, but Thrall snarls and the tail tightens again. Jack, I cannot let you go free. Your blade, the hand that you are growing, evolving. Well, just wait until I get my big growth spurt, I say, and with that, Thrall raises his warhammer. Okay, now this was all fun and all, but I need to escape now. I push the glove and the tail arm with my... I push and shove at the tail arm with my half-free glove hand. What happens next is bananas. My glove hand sinks into the tail arm and bzzz, the same electrical pulse I felt back in the ice cream shop with Bartle. Thrall feels it too. I see a flash of confusion cross his face. It's not magic, it's not the Force or some sort of vision or this dark dimension energy. It's real, and it's inside the tail. A big mass courses through every molecule of that tail's fleshy skin, just like it coursed through the Louisville Slicer in the ABC Theater. The glove is pumping with a beating heart. It's many suckers slurping, and it's like thirsty for dark energy, and it's drawing from the tail. I think about Bartle's words right before he died. The decision is now in your hands. And I allow myself the briefest moment to smile, because with Bartle's final breath, he left a message. Only he didn't mean hands, plural, but he meant hand. Thrall, I say, my hand, and that's the thing that covers it. It's going to end you. Thrall releases a swift guttural grunt. He attempts to pull away, but the glove has suctioned into his arm with an unbreakable force. I smile as my hand squeezes tighter around the tail, and its suckers pulling in like a vacuum. The rat's tail skin begins to bubble. It begins being pulled into the glove, and now I know the full meaning of Bartle's words hit me. The decision is now in your hands. The decision. It's my choice whether to take this power of the tail as my own. My heart should be pounding in my mind, and it's racing, pinballing back and forth. Take it down, don't take it, but it's not. It's not much of a decision at all. What are you? I don't. Bartle said he wanted to matter. I'm making sure he does. Right now, it's about how big the responsibility feels. When Bartle thought I wasn't committed, he shows me that it was a horrible image in this simulation of what could be, but it's made my task feel so overwhelming that I wanted to cower it. I only successfully controlled the zombies when I focused on what makes the fight personal with my friends, and that's what I do now. The goose slime attack continues with June at the helm, a series of booms and splats, and each boom seems to represent something deeper than what's really at stake. If I don't do this, then my friends' happiness and hopes will all be crushed. Their suffering, sadness will all be for nothing. And I thought that would only make me squeeze tighter. The tail arm's leathery skin turns an inky black color, and this same shade of a smoky energy that streaks off the slicer. The glove bubbles and grows. I smell burning, and then I see the last bit of energy extracted from the tail. After the process is complete, Thrall's left with a long, winding skeletal appendage. I never seen Thrall at less than 100% intimidating, so it makes me for a second realize that he looks defeated, but he looks down. So do I. A few of Evie's action figures, a bit of the plastic that were embedded into Gat's tail, stick out from the tailbone like odd little spikes. Thrall reaches out and touches them. I don't know what it is about them, because they call a foul, unnerving grin across his face. He opens his mouth, and he has only words that come out. Hit it again. It's June. Below, in Big Mama, my friends unleash another epic glue slime, and the tendril scracks and quakes. It's melting, crumbling, collapsing beneath our feet. It's nearly destroyed. Just one final blast, and that's when I spot Dirk and Quint together in Big Mama's truck bed. A sheet is yanked away, flung into the air, revealing the biggest loot crate of all, the modified Nerf cannon. The final volley of goo slime is indescribable. The attack comes from all vantage points, exploding, blasting. The tendril slashes and thrashes, and it's a pain howl emulates from every inch of it. Jack, go, Quint shouts. I throw a final glance at Thrall and shout, peace out, doof. I jump just as I hear the cannon erupt. I sail through the air, and then I gotcha, Wes shouts. Thanks, I holler as this giant eagle monster grabs me and carries me off. Sorry, we whooped you back at the Battle Royale. I'll have my revenge later. For right now, I'll set you down safely. The tendril is breaking down. Goose slime clings to the branches and the vines, turning them gray with brittle. They crack and snap like a nuclear Rice Krispies. The tendril's body arcs, and the maw lurches upward, howling through the sky and the moon, and then crash, smash. The tendril smashes to the ground with earth-rattling force, rolling over on its side before going completely still. The vine thingies dissolve into something like green-orange ash, filling the air like a sandstorm. Then a sudden gust of wind, gone. The tendrils vanished. The zombies are all scattered across the road. They wobble to their feet. Goose slime drums off of them like dog slobber. Zombies are goose slime. Resilient. Good to know. Amidst the fading and dispatching ash, Thrall, he stands bolt upright, and you never guess what his cosmic transportation vessel just exploded out from underneath him. Thrall eyes me through the swirling ash. At his side, through the whirling ash. At his side, the rat tail appendage looks like a terrible skeleton whip. I stare at him and at the many zombies between us. Something about this epic moment makes me think of Evie. Just a few weeks ago, these same zombies that were at the bowling alley, part of her and Gatz's army. And now, Gatz is nowhere to be found. Thrall went rogue, and I'm suddenly the one with the zombie controlling power. She caved. The end of the world. Man, never know what to expect. And now Evie knows just as what I do. But Evie is not my main concern right now. What matters is my friends and the decision that I've made. One last time, Bartle's words enter my consciousness. It's your choice, Jack, but it's a tremendous burden, and for that, I'm so very sorry. Don't be sorry, dude. I've made up my mind. Here goes nothing. All right, we'll finish up on Monday.